When I was born in China 18 years ago, my birth parents lived in a very small home and didn't have very many means to keep me safe. However, they wanted what was best for their little girl, so they decided to put me on the steps of this institution building in January of 2002. However, since my adoption was completely closed, I truthfully know nothing about my birth family. But this is one of the many scenarios that goes through my mind when I wonder what went through their minds as they decided not to parent me. Today, I hope that I can guide you through the mindset of an adopted individual and those involved with their adoption. I also hope that you will consider my argument that the love and connection between a family is not determined by the blood they do or do not share, and that adopted individuals are just as much a part of their family as a biological child is. I will also extend an invitation to converse respectfully with adoptees and their family members. First, I will address some misconceptions concerning adoption and why they are misleading. Next, I will speak about proper adoption etiquette and why it is crucial to converse delicately on this subject. Finally, I will invite you all as educated and caring BYU students to express sensitivity and concern for others through considerate language. Let me begin with the first misconception about adoption. Some people think that the bond between family members isn't as strong if the members were adopted. This could not be farther from the truth. According to American Adoptions, the bond you form has nothing to do with whether the child was adopted or biological. It has everything to do with the experiences that you share together. I love my family very much, and luckily I have very strong relationships with each of my siblings, all of whom were adopted, except for my oldest sister, Beth Ann. Since we were all raised in the same home by the same parents, we had the same exact relationship as any other family members would. Since it was usually my mother who took us out into public, she received outrageous questions and comments, such as, "How much did they cost?" Or, "What would you do if they found their real family?" My mother's response to this second question was, "I would be happy if my children found their birth parents, because my relationship with them would not change, because I will always be their mother." The misconception that adopted children are bought and sold is heartbreaking. A child is not merchandise, and the legal fees that are paid should not be confused with regular spending money. Additionally, we should not ask questions that imply or assume that a child was for sale. When talking about adoption, it is crucial to be delicate. This is a picture of me and my sister Kate. We were both adopted from China, and many people ask if we are real sisters, assuming that we are biologically related, which we are not. HealthyChildren.org offers a list of do's and don'ts, and they offer the advice to not refer to birth family members as real or natural. I recall being used as an example in one of my young women classes as someone who was not naturally part of my family because I was not naturally born into it. Please understand that there is nothing unnatural about adoption or the way that adoptees are brought into their family. It is important to recognize that adopted family members are in fact legitimately part of their adoptive family. It is politically incorrect and disrespectful to assume otherwise. It is also no one's right to ask deep and personal questions that violate the privacy of an individual. Sarah Jones, who was an adoptee from South Korea, once said, "While many of us understand that adopting a child is never simple, we rarely acknowledge the complex emotions that he or she may experience." In Doctrine and Covenants, section 18, verse 10, we learn that the worth of souls is great in the sight of God. And with this truth, we should not even entertain the discouraging thought of being unwanted by asking careless questions. My last plea to all today is to please be considerate of those whom you speak to and what you say to them. It is normal to have questions about people and their biological identity, but today we learn respectful ways to ask questions and make comments about adoption. We also learn that it is the experiences that bind a family together, not the blood that they do or do not share. I hope that you can rest assured that no matter how a baby reaches their family, this child will not be seen as a stranger to their family, and we should not treat them as such. I also hope that if you have the opportunity to converse with an adopted individual, that you will have rooted out any misconception that they were bought and sold or unloved by their adoptive family. I pray that we can all find commonality with one another as one family under God, as we strive to discuss our families here on earth. Thank you.